Hello, 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 and welcome to Salon Etiquette with Miss Camille. And I'm Miss Camille, and I am your cosmetology counselor. Counselor is one that gives advice, whether you take it or leave it. I have over 35 years of behind the chair work experience, and my desire is to spill the tea, the cosmetology, and help you keep those chairs spinning. So tonight I'm going to talk about real quick how to keep stylists in them shops. Just 3 tips that may work for you. Like I said, you can take it or leave it. But over the 35 years, this is what I have experienced, and I also will share my story. But the first tip is to make sure you run a fair and professional shop and treat all your employees with respect and professionalism. So when you work 9 to 5, once you clock out, them stylists clock out, they should go home until they come back to work. Other than that, they shouldn't be getting calls after hours on things that aren't relevant to work. And a lot of times, if you're fair, people won't want to leave your shop. You will always keep employees because they're happy where they are at. And if you keep it professional, like I said, you're not gossiping. People are happy where they work at. The money is good. Making sure the money is good is a plus, because a lot of times people leave because of the money. They don't feel like they're getting fair share of the pay that they're working hard for. So they want to go somewhere where they can get a fair pay or better pay. But if you're fair and you keep things professional, no gossiping, no talking about your employees, no micromanaging, making sure they're getting good training, and make sure that after they clock out, you don't talk to them and they don't see you until they return to work. Keeping it business. Business is business. Like I said, number 1 is being professional and being fair. If people like where they work at, it's a professional environment. Because when you work in an office building, when you clock out at 5, those people don't call you. They not allowed to ask you no questions until that you return the next day at 9 a.m. Right? So make sure that if you do have stylists in your salon, make sure it is a professional salon and it is fair, professional and fair, and people will not want to leave. All right. And number 2, I will say, always accept applications. Always accept applications. When somebody comes in looking for a job, even if you're fully staffed, take their information. Maybe you can get them to come in 1 day a week. Maybe you can get them to come in 2 days a week. That the people are not there because you're running a business. So you want to keep always a fully staffed. And I only say that because you never know. Somebody's going to go on maternity leave. Somebody might have to go to a funeral. So it should be always some extra stylists on deck. Beside the full-time ones, always make room for part-time people. Make room for people that only want to work 1 day a week. Only want to work 2 days a week. Everybody doesn't have to work in a salon all week, 5 days a week. Some people want to just work 1 day a week. So not only have full-time employees, but also have part-time employees. Now me, I wouldn't mind just working 1 day a week because I don't want to work all week. You know, some people might have an option of wanting to work a job where They can work an office job or whatever. Sometimes people have other degrees and different things, but they still want to, you know, dabble in hair and keep hair as a side hustle. So not only will you offer full-time employee spaces, but on those slow days, make sure you always accept applications, keep people on deck. In case like something happens to the full-time employees, you always got backup. And like I said, people might want a day off, go to a wedding, or something might happen with their kids. Always have an extra stylist or two on deck. And another thing, always accept applications. Always accept applications. You go to these regular businesses, they always have signs up to say now hiring. Now hiring. And I know one thing about working in salons, people, oh, I'm booked, I don't need no more stylists. Just have 2 or 3 stylists work one day a week. Because what happens is, if you don't have no backup, when people leave, you feel like, oh, it's the end of the world. But if somebody leaves, you still got those 3 people, 2 or 3 people that only work one day a week. You can always offer to them to come in extra 2 or 3 days. So instead of having 3 people work in the salon, have 6 people, 3 full-time people and 3 part-time people. Like I said, have somebody come in one day a week. So always accept applications. If somebody wants to work, and I don't know how many times I've heard people say, oh, we're not hiring right now. Yes, we are. We're always hiring. We're always taking applications. Give me your information. And I interview. And when I was a manager at one of the regions, anybody come in for an interview, and I have the application on that. But one lesson I learned is to just let people, a lot of people don't, I learned to let people work one day a week. One day a week. Maybe they have other things going on, but they're licensed cosmetologists or barbers, nail technicians. Just hire them one day a week. Because like I said, if something happens to those main people, you always got backup. Number 3, always go and hit them beauty schools. Because in them beauty schools, the beauty schools is full of talent, full of fresh, talented students. They hungry. But the only thing is they need somebody that's going to mentor, train them, and give them some guidance. But they are the best employees. If you could get somebody that is trainable, that is cooperative, and is hungry, because you're going to meet lots of people. But every now and then you just run into somebody that's special, that has that juice, that you want to work with them, and they're hungry. They want to work with you. Oh, I want to come and work in your salon. They're hungry. So those are the people you want to have on deck. Because if you get you a shampoo girl or 2, they work under you. They know how you put your colors in. They know how you roll a set. They know how you put your chemicals. They know how you shampoo. They know how you condition. So you keep those people under you working in the salon, like I said, 1, 2, 3 days a week, whatever you can get them to work. Like I said, have 2, because some people can only work 1 or 2 days. Don't just limit your salon to looking to full-time employees. Maybe you have a shampoo girl can only work 1 day. Well, let somebody else work another day, and then let somebody else work another day. Because it's basically getting them in and getting them trained, getting them to know the ropes, getting them to know. But like I said, some people want to get lots of money. But if you can find people that are more concerned about learning than the money, then you got some good people on deck. And sometimes even with the shampoo people, the customers tip them real good. If they can give a good shampoo, they gonna make their money just off of their tips. If they shampoo 10 people a day, that's $50 a day in tips. So train people, get in them beauty schools. I know one beauty school I was working at, hairstylist. He had owned a salon, and he came in to the beauty school once a month or every 3 months, every quarter, 4 times a year. And he did a presentation on a haircut. Well, not only that, after he did a haircut, all the new students, the senior students, he got their information, and he would have what I want to say, orientations at his school, introducing the different stylists to graduate from the school to his salon. And that's how he got new talent. Finding somebody that don't mind coming in as a shampoo person. And I'm going to give a firm story because that's how I started. I was bad and I didn't even know it. But I was a shampoo girl, and I was working at a salon because I had just got my license. And you know how you, in between, you done took your test and you wait for the results or whatever. But I just had a baby. I was a young bride, so I didn't really have to work. My husband took care of everything, but I had my license, so I wanted to continue to dabble in hair. So I worked in a little salon like 2 days a week. So I learned how to do shampoo. I learned how to do relaxers, colors, whatever I need to do. And it was like 3 different stylists, and I worked under them, putting their people under the dryer, the conditioner. So all them little tidbits or whatever that I needed to know, I learned. But it was like 4 different stylists, and I was like the shampoo girl. So, I learned everything, color, rinse, the different shampoos, what the different conditioners do. And one day, one of the top stylists, he didn't show up. And the 3 other stylists were booked, and the owner of the salon said, "Camille, you're going to have to step up and do these heads." I said, "Huh?" "No, not me." She said, "Yes." And I got in there, and she said, "Look, go ahead and do your thing. Just ask them what they want, do it, and if you need help, ask me." And I was scared, but I jumped in there, and I did the best I could. Next thing I knew, I was booked. And I worked under her for about 3 or 4 years, and then I opened up my husband, and I opened up my own little salon. And the story is, I didn't leave because anything bad. It's just I was having another baby, and my husband wanted me to have my own salon because we were starting a little family, and it was feasible for me to have my own salon because I could have the kids there. He'd go pick them up, and he could drop them off at the salon with me until he got off of work, or he if I got off at 5 and he could pick them up at 4 and drop them off. It just worked best for my family. So I wasn't quitting anything bad, but I see a lot of time people get upset. "Oh, such and such leaving, such and such leaving, such and such leaving." Yeah, but if you have backup and you got other people waiting in line to get that spot, you don't have to ever worry about not having enough people or somebody leaving your shop, because you got other people already trained and lined up. So when that person do leave, which I left, not because it was nothing bad, but my family was growing, and it was just easier for me, my husband and I, with little kids, now going into daycare, to have my own spot where I can have a room and a little TV in the back for, my little girls. And at the time I was pregnant with my son, it was easy for my family to have them there with me after they leave daycare. And if I was working with somebody else, I couldn't have my kids running all around people's shop and stuff like that. So Beyonce left Destiny Child. Justin Timberlake left NSYNC. Who else? Fergie left the Black Peas. People go solo and go out on their own all the time. So it's nothing personal. But if you consider these tips, Like I said, number one, make sure you have a fair and professional workplace. Number two, make sure you always accept applications. And number three, make sure you're connecting with them beauty schools and getting mentorees in there that if somebody quit, you done already showed them the ropes. They done work with you. They know how to jump in there. And like I said, jump in there. And because a lot of times stylists leave and they leave they don't always take all of their clients. Because some people, they like the salon, even if the stylists go, if they know, well, Josephine, she's going to get somebody. I trust Josephine, the salon owner. I know she's going to get somebody good in there. They're going to stay at the shop. They don't always follow not everybody don't always follow their stylist. So don't be worried and well-doing if you have a salon and somebody tells you they're leaving. It's nothing personal, especially if you know you was fair, you was professional, and you have a good work environment. Good work environment means you're not gossiping, talk about people. When people work 9 to 5, they leave, they go home until they come back the next time 9 to 5. Don't be mixing business with pleasure. Keep it professional. People won't want to leave and go nowhere else. But sometimes people have to leave. Like I said, with me, my family was growing and it was more feasible for my husband and I, for me to have my own salon, little salon. So if it ever came up where he needed to drop my little girls off, we have a little TV in the back with some crayons. If you ask my kids now, they know they grew up in the salon, right? So don't fret if someone tells you they're leaving, especially if you are well equipped and got 2 or 3 people on the bench waiting to take their spot. So the people should be waiting to jump in, jump out, shake yourself about. Some people are waiting. And if you're running your salon where you have, like I said, you're fully staffed, and then you have 2 or 3 assistants running the place, running it, knowing how to run it. And not only that, when they're in beauty school, see, they're not all trying to, sometimes if you got some stylists, they all big-headed and, don't want to tell them. When they're in beauty school, they just hungry. They just glad they working in the salon. So that's why I'm saying go in them beauty schools and get you some fresh talent. They hungry. They bad. What they say, they baddie. Some of them is wicked. But long as they have that teachable spirit, they teachable, they ready, they don't mind working. I don't know how many times I had people come to my salon want to work. They hungry, beauty school. And I done had some good shampoo assistants. But the only thing, be ready for the baby showers, because every time I turn around, somebody was get pregnant when you got a lot. But that's all right. You have a baby shower for every now and then. But you're going to find some good raw talent in them beauty schools. And you never know who is the best. So don't sleep on them beauty school students. Have you a couple of them assistants. Not them big-headed ones, but a couple that that are trainable. And what'll happen is when them big-headed stylists leave, and like I said, it's not personal. People have to leave for whatever reason. Maybe they get married and have to go off with their husband. It's not always personal, but sometimes it is, like I said. But if you are minding your business, stick in the business, make sure you're paying fairly, you're not gossiping, talking about your employees, because people will leave if it's always drama and mess and they're not getting paid fairly. But have a professional work environment where people work 9 to 5 and go home. You're not calling them after hours, telling them about what they did. No, you need to have a weekly meeting with people, a monthly meeting with all your staff and talking, or come up with some strategy where you are connected professionally just like you do in the office. I know I work an office job, and we met every morning. They had a morning meetup, and in the salons, they should be like that too. They should have some kind of morning meetup or weekly meetup where you meeting outside of during, not during work hours, but have a designated time, maybe after work, or not after work, but like say we work 9 to 5, and one day we meet up at 4 to 5 or something extra to have a meetup where you give people update on things instead of you calling them after hours venting about why you mix the color wrong or whatever, and keep things general. Hey, not so much personal where you picking on one person. Like I said, if you treat people fair, they won't want to leave. Somebody left the, caps off the shampoo. Not, oh, guess what, you did this, you did that. People don't feel comfortable, they won't stay. But if you have a professional salon and that you're nice to people and not saying to let them walk over you, but it's a professional business place, people won't want to leave. But in the case that they do leave, you have applications on top of applications of people that want to be hired. And like I said, I don't know how many times I worked in salons and people would tell people, because people come, sometimes the beauty schools send people out to look for salons to work in. And you heard people tell, oh, we're not hiring. No, Burger King is always hiring. McDonald's is always hiring. So these salons, you always need to be hiring. And like I said, if you can just get some people to work 1 day a week, get them in there, get them trained. You say, look, you can work 1 day a week, and you can still have 3 full-time employees, and you can have three part-time employees working 1 day a week. And then what happens is if one of them full-time employees get acting crazy and they gotta leave, you already got your bench. You can go back to your bench and get, hey, look, I got a full-time position now open, and it's clients already there. Because a lot of time when people leave, them clients don't leave with them. They don't leave. They come because they don't, sometimes people leave on a whim, but them clients know that shop is on Spring Garden and Berry Lane. They going to keep going to that shop. And that shop is a pillar. No matter who working there. Look, I just want my hair done. Well, Ray left. That's all right. I just need a haircut. Who do you have that can cut my hair? So the clients are always receptive to letting somebody work on them. Now, you're going to be comfortable because hey, I trained them. So you know how they work. You know how you show them how it needs to be done or how you want it done in your salon. So you built that reputation of having good workers, good employees, good stylists. Go down the Rays. Oh, if you go down the Rays, you're going to get a good haircut. So don't fret. Don't fret when people tell you they have to leave. You're going to be all right. You're going to be all right. Just get you some assistants in there. Get you some assistants, get you some interns, somebody that's hungry. Don't stress your stylists out or barbers out when, to the point where they don't feel like they can't leave or whatever. Because sometimes people got enough clientele, they can leave. Bye. Be happy for them. Send them on their way. Let them open up their new salon. If they leave on good terms and something happens, they need to come back, they come back, or maybe they go away to college or whatever. Sometimes people do hair on the side just to make money while they're in school. So don't fret. Like I said, Justin Timberlake left NSYNC. Beyonce left Destiny Child. Fergie left the Black Eyed Peas. Went out on her own. So in this business, it's part of the business. People will leave one salon and go to another, or leave and go out on their own, or leave to go, in my case, start a family. So, but if you as the salon owner got your backup team, you're not going to fret when somebody leaves, because you already got your applications, you already got your assistants. They in beauty school, they get about to graduate, they getting their license. You don't show them how to roller set, you don't show them how to do the haircut, you don't show them what conditioners to use. And you don't have to tell them everything, but you show them basics, that way you want them to work on your clients. So when you, because one day you gonna need a day off. You should, I know I was the shampoo assistant at the salon, and sometimes my the hairstylist I worked under, she'd be running late. Some days she wanted to go get a cup of coffee, or maybe she wanted to go get a donut, or she just was running late. But she could call me and say, Camille, hey, I'm running late. Can you go start Miss Johnson? Use the clarifying shampoo, moisturizing shampoo, and put a conditioner on her and put her under dryer with a plastic cap, and I'm on my way. And I knew how to do that because that's how I was trained. And not only that, like I said, when one of the big stylists, the top stylists didn't come in, I was trained and I knew how. She said, girl, you better get in there and do them heads. And I did. I was scared, but I did. So don't fret, salon owners, when somebody's telling you leave. Make sure, as long as you know you have a professional and fair work environment, and you know that you are taking them applications and not turning people away, giving everybody a chance that you feel is qualified. And number 3, get in those beauty schools and get to talking to some of them students. Do a couple of free classes. I don't know, go on a career day when they have it. Let them know that you are always hiring. Always hiring. Because like I said, if something happens to one of your stylists and they say they got to leave for whatever reason, you not in no rut, because you have plan B, C, D, E, F, G. Right? Well, thank you for listening. My name is Camille. Thank you for watching my YouTube channel. Please like and subscribe. Leave your comments. Give me some ideas of what to talk about. And I'm going to get on here and share the cosmetology of 35 years of work experience behind the chair. My desire is to get in here and help you guys keep these chairs spinning, whether you're a salon owner or whether you are a hairstylist. I done did it all. Owned a salon. I've been a manager. I worked at Regis. I was a regional manager with Regis. I done did it all, which they closed a lot of Regis's down. But I've got 35 years of work experience in the cosmetology industry. And I know it's money to be made. It's money to be made. But half of it is the service. Half of it is customer service. And other half is skill. So you can't just know how to do the hair and not have good customer service, because people won't come back. And you want to build that book. That's my mission, to help you build that book. That when you look down at the book, they book. You are booked. And I'm going to share with you my 7 principles on salon etiquette, on how to get booked, how to recruit, and stay booked. All right. Thank you so much. Like I said, please like and subscribe. Leave your comments. Let me know where you're from, what state you're from. Are you in beauty school? Are you just thinking about going to cosmetology school? Are you a salon owner? Let me know. Please let me know. Please leave your comments. And thank you for checking me out at Salon Etiquette with Ms. Camille. And I am your cosmetology counselor. So make sure you salon owners, you get in them beauty schools and you get you some mentees and get them under your wing. Get you a couple of shampoo girls or guys. And some of them, they are superstars in the making. They're superstars in the making. So don't worry about when your stylists leave, because you got your superstar sitting on the bench waiting to get in there and make a play. All right. Thank you. Let's get them cheers a spinning. Have a wonderful day.